every single day.
People want to connect with someone who...
Self-expression is life.
It is the challenge. It's a challenge of life.
You can't get mad at other people for not seeing your vision.
It was all about a grind. Like I said, I was selling CDs, DVDs, and clothes out the trunk of my
Whatever
car.
it takes.
This is for the people. Don't forget that. Episode 17. Literally our next door neighbors. Used to be John Brown's Smokehouse. Here's Remix. There's Kakes NYC. Excited to show you all. First cannabis lounge in all of New York City. Come check it out. What's up, LUG Life family? Zach here, episode 17. I'm here with Rico and Karol. We are at Kakes NYC. This is Remix Market's next door neighbor. We're at 1040 44th Drive in Long Island City. Thank you guys so much for joining the podcast. If you don't mind, just start off introducing who you are and how you got to this point.
Go ahead, baby. You go first.
All right, so my first name is Raymond. My middle name is Rico. I'm only known as Rico. If you catch me as Raymond, I'm in the suit. And you catch me on Rico, I'm Rico right now.
I love that. That's amazing.
I am a super entrepreneur. I am a real estate entrepreneur. Ever since I was young, I wanted to be somebody in life. I wanted to be somebody that was more than the average Joe, I was the guy that you actually got to watch all the people passing by, what they wore, what kind of life they lived, what kind of car they drove, what kind of house they lived in, and then I looked at where my life was as a youngin', and
Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and but then sent away as a mutt. Yeah, I guess you could say, you know. But anyway, I started looking at people for who they are, what they were doing, and wanted to be more. My life wasn't the best, My father died of AIDS, 97, April 1st. My mom used to run the streets. I have no college degree, no high school diploma. I got a GED while I was locked up. I did 2 years in the pen, and I learned a lot, even in those 2 years. I learned that, again, I need to be somebody. I want to be somebody, falling in the wrong path. So that put me into wanting to be who I am now, and went through a nice long journey of learning. Got sent away when I was a kid to Omaha, Nebraska, in Boys Town.
Shout out to Warren Buffett.
Sure. When I got away to there, I ended up finishing and then going to Job Corps in Denison, Iowa. And that didn't work out too well because I popped a dirty UA. For you don't know, a dirty UA is a urinalysis. And got sent back to New York and had to see the judge and had to explain why, But yeah, so now I'm in a situation where I've become, from all those different things in life that I went through to actually becoming a real estate entrepreneur. Started as a regular real estate agent. And of course, before then, selling CDs, DVDs, and clothes out the trunk of my car, selling perfume and cologne out the trunk of my car, I was doing it all. Always trying to find a way to get money, be established, and again, be somebody in life. So after that, now from doing real estate, grew a company, went nationwide, to over to 120 locations.
Amazing.
That was a crazy ride. You know, I gave a good over 15 years of my life to one company and blew it up. I was the director of franchise and area and development. And then from there started wanting to change for more. The company ended up selling and from that point, after the company being sold, I opened up my own real estate company called Level Up Realty. And I started buying, started flipping, still had my brokerage. I still have my broker's license to this day. And from there, I started working and blowing up in the real estate world and doing my thing and met Karol. And now we got into a business of doing a cannabis cafe lounge. Yeah, so
It's amazing.
that's what it is. But that's a little inside. So it's Karol.
All right, so I'm Karol. I'm a pastry chef. I've been in the field for quite some time. I started my career at John George, and then I kept leveling up and going through every obstacle in the culinary career so I could reach the peak that I wanted to reach. And I had stoner friends, and I was a chef, so they'd always used to just give me weed. It's like, Karol, here, make something with it. So that's what I used to do, and I used to just play around with it, like the butter and the stuff. And eventually, I wanted to move to Cali. So I wanted to move to Cali. I wanted to really jump into the
Who doesn't want to move
cannabis.
to Cali?
And I loved Cali. I loved the vibe. I loved the energy. I met Rico along that little
journey.
COVID came. My uncle passed. I didn't go to Cali.
Wow.
I stayed here. Then we started making edibles at the house. And he got me this jar of distillate. And I look at him and I'm like, do you know what I could do with this jar? And he just couldn't believe it, and we just kept going from there. We started going to pop-ups. We started going to events. People were going crazy over all the edibles, over our treats, and now we're here at Kakes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a great story, and I think one of the most amazing parts is you guys pick like a prime location in Long Island City, right? Like, obviously this is where the Amazon buildings were supposed to go. They never ended up coming here, but like for me, this is like when I moved from the Upper West Side over here, this is like where me and my wife and daughter started in Queens. And I think just, breaking that stigma that cannabis can be used just like alcohol, right? It can be used responsibly. You can make it this professional environment. Obviously, for anyone that knows, this used to be John Brown's Smokehouse, which was like literally a fucking staple of Long Island City. And, I think this is going to be the next staple after John Brown's. It's like you're going to keep the legacy going. And I think, part of the most amazing part of being your next door neighbor in businesses is watching how much work went into opening this, right? So do you mind just like walking through what that journey looked like to get it so you can open your doors?
Yeah, let Rico talk about that because he made this whole thing, literally. He did a great job.
No, we made it.
We did, but you really did.
I mean, listen, the journey was real, like anything else with the short story I just gave you, everything comes with trial and error. And everything also comes with a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
But, as Karol mentioned, it's funny. When I met Karol, I was going through a lot of changes in my life at the time. I was in a 11-year relationship with someone else at the time. And we had parted our ways. And as we parted ways, a lot of changes I was going through. I mean, it was crazy during that time for me. I'm 40 years old, so I've been through. I've been a diamond in the rough for a while, and at least in business. And with those changes, I also was like, man, I gotta I got to keep the heat going because no matter what in my mind, it's grind time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's grind time because, a lot of people, they fall into situations in their life where they fall off. They get comfortable, or not just comfortable, but they allow other things in their life to take over them, and it doesn't allow them to move over to proceed with a dream of, again, for me, it was becoming more than life, my father, used to run the streets real heavy. He was a hustler. My mom was a hustler too, you know what I mean? And she gets busy, and still to the day she gets busy. She gets busy with us, which we'll get into a little bit. But, looking at where the next thing for yourself is, and when you're going into life, it's like, okay, now when you make decisions, they're really like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, okay, we got to make these decisions, and how do we go about it, and how we're going to make it happen. And falling into this, I said, you know what, Cal, this is what we're going to do. Because we were talking about this, and like she told me about that jar that she brought in. Listen, I had a little connection. I said, let me get this jar. She only wanted a little bit, actually.
I did. I wanted like a small little jar.
You got a little scared. You're like, what am I going to do?
No, just like, let me experiment. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
But this one over here gets me this huge jar.
Well, something tells me that's his style, right? You wanted to like try and do a trial and error, and he's like, how can I turn this into a whole business?
Literally. And because during COVID, I'm a grinder. I bought over 68 properties during COVID.
Wow.
While everybody was scared, I was like buying online with the auction. I was I was crazy. I had a driver drive me everywhere, all over Jersey. Like I was just so I could be on the computer and I was getting to the bag, like really busy. And Carol, I hear about opening up a restaurant, and then I see her working with my mom, and they're working in the kitchen, and her doing her thing too. And I'm like, oh man, this is pretty okay. Like, okay, it's cool. And I never wanted a restaurant. I never wanted a bar. That wasn't my thing because I'm a real estate entrepreneur. And in real estate, we don't do that because we know that 90% of restaurants fail.
Of course. I mean, it's a service industry, right?
Huh?
The service industry is very tough.
Very tough. Right? And during COVID, who's going to get into something like this during COVID? And looking at that, I was like, yo, like we could really make a move here. Like, why? Because shit, I got that juice, you know what I mean? I can make it happen, and she does too. And I noticed that her work is so good. So I said, you know what, Carol? All right, cool. You want to do this? Not opening a spot. I told her, I said, all right, go open up a corporation. Here's the account that I want you to go open up a corporation with. Here's go to this bank, and I want you to open up these kind of accounts.
Wow.
Go over here, and I want you to do this and do that. Like I was putting her on little missions, and she was getting them done. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And she was like, well, get me just a little bit so I could see. They gave it to me like this. That's all I could get. It's how I get it, So she was like, do you know what this could do right here? And I was like, I don't know, babe, but just, this here, do it, do your thing, whatever. And she was, no, do you really? I was like, well, I was like, maybe like 20 grand, 30 grand. And she was like, no. I was like, what? What you say, babe?
I don't even remember, honestly.
She was like 300,000. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, he's like 300,000. I was like, what?
Off that jar.
So, but then I saw her making cakes and people buying them and putting in orders, and we're going to pop-ups. I'm putting on to this, spots, but I'll go with her because I want to, make sure she's good at these spots, and they don't kind of hold her hand. And I'm also kind of, I guess, again, I'm an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? And
I mean, I'm the same way. Anything that I feel like could be a hobby for other people, I'm always thinking to myself, how do I monetize this? How do I turn this into part of my legacy? So that's what I'm starting to hear from you guys.
When she told me 300,000, that changed the game for me. I said, what? I said, okay, all right. So, but then when I saw the orders going in, and I said, let's go get a logo. Let me see, before we went going on the pop-ups, I had to go get a logo, this and a third. But something to this day that I mentioned to everybody is I was on the phone talking about a deal. I wasn't going to do the deal. I didn't care much to do the deal. Karol was interested in actually doing a deal. She says, well, I would like to know, like, I can make a, you know?
Yeah.
So I said, all right. I was like, if you really want to, but I was like, it's $35,000. I was like, now I know she's successful already. I know she's doing her thing, but I'm not looking to her like that for the bread. You know what I mean? So she was like, she puts up this money. The next day she comes to me. I was like, oh, okay. And she comes in cash. I was like, okay, big dog. I said, oh, all right. I see you shining. So we did the deal. A few months later, came back with over $100,000. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we ended up making through the deal. And when I'm ready to give her the money, she says, "No, this is the business for the business." Wow. So to this day, that was like, oh, okay, I see where she at. So right after that, we started looking for spaces. That was fun, right? So tell them about your experience about running with the spaces, baby, before we tell them how we got here.
Jeez, how many places did we even look at?
We looked at a decent amount. Now listen, I'm a real estate agent, right? Or a real estate broker, so to say, right? You know? So I already know how to move around with the properties and how to talk. I know how to work the leases. I know about the escalation clauses. I really don't need a lawyer. If I'm using a lawyer, it's just because that's a requirement that the owner would probably like me to have and so forth. So if but I know all the rules and regulations. Like I could look through this and I know what to. I know. You know
the fine print.
Yes, all the T's and dotted I's. So, we ended up finding the spot here because I knew about it, because I used to have a penthouse over here for 6 years. I lived over here.
I love this area.
I lived at the Avalon North.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a great spot.
I knew about John Brown. I've been to John Brown's before, you know. And I maybe came once or twice, nothing crazy here. But when I was driving down, I was in Brooklyn. I was thinking about Williamsburg. I was thinking about Bushwick.
Yep.
I was thinking about Ridgewood.
Yep.
I was thinking about
all the places that made sense.
Yeah.
All the places that made sense. And then one day I had got off the highway because I was doing a real estate transaction not too far from here, and I told my driver, I said, yo, let's go over here to Long City. Let's be looking at spots and see if there's any locations open. And then we found it. I saw the spot. I saw it. I drove by. I said, "Oh shit!" I sent it to her. I said, "Let's see if we can get to the lady or whoever it was." And she got to it. And when she got to it, we saw the place.
And I think, you know, right now Roger will show the B-roll of this location now.
Yeah.
Just for anyone that didn't see what John Brown's looked like, this place was a dump.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but it totally was a dump.
A dump.
It was a fucking
and like, you know, people weren't coming here because of the environment. People were coming here because they literally had the best, you know, smoked meats in New York City. Oh, for sure. And like right now we're in the back courtyard. They put on a retractable roof and now it looks beautiful. But to really see what it looked like and have the vision to turn this into what it is now is really such valuable knowledge to share with everyone that's watching this, because I'm sure that there's a lot of people that A, want to get into cannabis.
Of course.
And B, want to get into the restaurant industry. And sometimes I feel like I walk by with Marley, right? And I'm leaving daycare. And, you know, I've been doing this for so fucking long now that I have a whole team set up. And I walk by Karol and I'm like, how's it going? And she doesn't need to say anything. I could tell by your response how that day's going. And I think,
really?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think last week when I was asking you if you guys want to be on the podcast, you were talking about how someone, your chef was out sick and now you were stepping in and how stressful that is. And, you know, I think a lot of people, again, the whole point of this podcast is to show what entrepreneurship is really about. And, you know, one of the most amazing parts of watching you guys not only build this out, but now launch is someone's out, you step up. Someone's out, you step up. Place, you know, you want to fill these seats, go out, do guerrilla marketing, right? Like I've been seeing in your Instagram. It's just so many pieces. And the fact that you're talking about consistency is really what you learned in your past, right? Because you can't be this successful Michelin star restaurant without making sure that you know, every single detail is perfect for every single customer.
And everybody thinks I'm annoying. I think Rico thinks I'm annoying sometimes too, because I'm like, no, you have to do this and you have to do that. But there's really a reason why, you know. And as like the owners, if we apply it and we make them do it, they have to do it. But if we don't do it ourselves,
they're never going to do it.
They're never going to do it.
As soon as you guys walk out that door, if you're not doing it the way that you want it done, they're done doing it, for sure.
And I've worked in so many places where, like, I used to just relax sometimes because there's really not that much to do sometimes, you know?
Of course.
But we all have to keep doing little things to make everything easier.
So how does it work in terms of getting the ingredients? You know, like, how do you get that done on day in and day out?
I get them. So I was doing a bottle order. I'm still kind of getting it together because it took us, we're open a month now. Now I know exactly what we need and what we need to get.
In terms of quantity.
Exactly.
Yep.
So our first order was like extremely bulked. We had a lot of waste. Our fridges also went down.
Oh no.
The day after grand opening.
Oh no.
No, it was the next day.
No, it was the day.
Oh, well, they were going down the day of grand opening.
Wow.
And we lost some products and it was crazy.
Yep.
It was crazy. It was that grand opening was crazy.
Yeah, it really was.
Of course.
It really was. And
That was crazy.
but I go and get stuff in the mornings. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm such a talker. I go and I'm like, hey, so what kind of restaurant do you run? Or I look at their carts and I try to guess what kind of restaurant they have. So I'm like,
Wow.
so Italian food? And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, oh, marinara, lots of marinara.
So you're basically networking while picking up the bulk, and now you're learning.
And it's nice because I ask them questions. You know, these are people that had restaurants for like 30, 40 years. So I'm like, so what do you suggest I should do here? Should I keep coming myself? They're like, yeah, keep coming. And it's 8 minutes away, Restaurant Depot. So
That's
like, why
awesome.
not save like a good $300 every time I go?
Yeah, for sure.
16 minutes, I'll grab it myself.
Yeah. So it sounds like for both of you guys, mentorship has been huge, right? Like, you wouldn't be where you were today without some of these huge mentors in your life. Do you guys just mind walking through the audience? Like, how does that work? Like, how do you get a mentor? And then now you guys are in a great position where you're mentoring others, right? So like, why don't you just like walk through, like, what did that look like in your childhood and how did that play a part in who you guys are today?
I feel like you don't really get a mentor. I feel like if you're a person that wants to succeed in life, you see someone who's succeeding and you want to learn from them.
Yep.
But if you don't want to learn from them, if you don't want to grow, you're not going to learn.
Of course.
Or grow, you know? I feel like the first mentor in my whole life was my mother. She was a single mom.
Shout out to your mom.
Busted her ass. Doesn't even speak English.
Wow.
Me and my sister, we lived a good life. We struggled, but she made it seem like we weren't struggling. You know what I mean?
You might have
so
struggled
while
financially.
She was struggling, we were like fine.
Thriving.
And she's just so strong, and that's my first mentor. And then I met Lois, who's the president, and it's so funny because she's also a single mom. And
Wow.
like, her and her daughter, I'm really close with them, so they go through things, and it's like, I don't know, it's like God gave me two moms sometimes.
I love that.
Because I didn't listen to my mom when I was younger, and they're so alike. And then I got older, and I got my mom again as my boss. So I was like, oh, now that I'm older, I started listening to her and taking it in. So it was like two moms.
That's amazing. And how do you feel like that's going to play a part in like how you raise your son, Chase?
I feel like I'm gonna be so strict. I'm trying so hard not to be annoying
No,
mom.
not annoying at all.
But I want like my kids to have a certain life. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I want him to eat certain things. I want him to just not go through what I went through. And just be a good kid in life. Be a good person. There's enough bad people in this world, and I want him to be good and do good. What do you want for your kid?
Well, why don't you first just talk about how big mentorship was for you? Because I know we were talking about pre-going the podcast, how many mentors you've had in your life, but like, how did that turn you into, Rico?
Wow. My dad and my mom, although that we didn't have the best of the life, I picked up a lot of traits from them, some good, some bad, right?
Of course.
And they were definitely, I lost my dad early in my life, and then my mom, things were just crazy, my whole timing. So mentorship for me was when I went to Boys Town in Omaha, Nebraska, and I met They call them family teachers because I lived in a house like a group home, you know. So I learned how to. I actually really learned how to shake a grown man's hand there. You know what I mean? Like
the next generation, it's up to you and I to teach them that, because I can't tell how many people look down when I shake their hand or don't even know to shake someone's hand.
It's crazy that and I realized that there. So how to accept feedback, you know, and how to. My life, I was living on a point system. I would get negatives if I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It took like behavior privileges for me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, why? Anyway, make the long story short, so having those things, I think it was like similar to what Karol said, was if you really want to learn, you're going to take in, you know, and move with that. But as I grew older and again, watching people, as I mentioned earlier, you know, and there was one gentleman, which is a very good friend of mine, it's like my brother, Anthony Lally. He mentored me in a way of this real estate game, and then there was other people along the path of, you know what I'm saying, that I just learned to watch. I learned how to move and shake with the big dogs, so to say, you know what I mean? And but I think it's more about, if you really want it, man, if you really want this, you're going to find a way. There's just no ifs, ands, and buts, you know what I'm saying, about it. Like, you want to get to the bag, this is how you get to the bag. See, a lot of people have dreams, my brother. Everybody has dreams. But nobody wants to get up and live that. Nobody wants to, but what happened was, for me, when I had to make that change in my life, I was 25 years old when I made that change in my life, and I said, I want to make this move. That's it. I'm done with going back to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with, certain people in my life. I'm done with certain situations, and I got to move on. And there's plenty of times, I don't care what anybody says, there is a God.
Of course.
There is a God, because I shouldn't be here right now. I should be dead in many different ways. I mean, I was in a car accident, 24 screws, 2 rods, and 2 plates on my leg.
In the hospital for a month.
I was about a month. I shot at my hip and fractured my pelvis. And had to train myself how to walk. That was one thing of mentoring myself. I had to show myself how to walk again, how to drive again, how to move again, how to be mobile, how to walk with a limp.
How long did that take to fully get back to where you are now?
It's a funny question, man, because sometimes I still ask myself, man, I think I'm still getting back. Life is not about now. Life is not, it's about later. It's about how it's going to, you know what I'm saying? I think in some fashions it is about now, but it's how you're going to continue to move on for later. You know what I'm saying? And,
couldn't agree more.
And when you beat certain things, in life, and you make it, you have to say, all right, man, like, let me figure this shit out by now. Like, I should, you're supposed to get better with time, not worse, And so now I think mentoring for me now is how to show my son what I didn't learn.
Oh, I love that.
You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
And this kid, I don't know what it is, but he's like my healer, like, in a way. Like, his name means healer.
You're gonna make me cry right now.
Like, he's my.
I totally get it. Yeah, man. It's
he's my.
People don't
healer.
understand until you have a kid. It's like you go from everything being about Zach to all of a sudden now everything's about Marley. And to me, it's like, how do I make sure that I can give her everything that I always wanted? Right?
Yeah. Like, I want, like, he's gonna have credit. He's gonna have like all this, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna have credit.
I love that.
He's gonna be good.
He's gonna have an 800 score.
Yeah, score. Like, he's already got a bank in the house. He's got his own little bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I totally get it, man.
He's got his whole thing. Like, this is like, like, it became unreal. And then opening up this business, it was like opening up a new life.
Yep.
And sometimes you don't know what life brings you, and people say, oh man, I've been getting nothing but a bag of lemons, so fucking make lemonade, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta find the when the pressure's in, you got to find how to release that pressure into something else. And I started working out. I started doing it. And although like I haven't been working out now, like it, because I put so much into, okay, this thing here with this restaurant, like I put in so much hours in my
Your body.
real estate.
Yeah.
And I'm burning myself out.
Yep.
I'm burning, but you know what? That's why we're pioneering this now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
First cannabis lounge.
cannabis cafe lounge in New York City. Like, this is huge. Like, you know, and I'm working on every level to make it more official every day. You know what I mean? So it's
Like sharpening the sword, right?
That's it. Every day, sharpening the sword. And listen, shout out to anybody who's trying to do what we're doing. Shout out to anybody who's looking to prosper in life. But I'll tell you right now, this shit ain't come easy. This didn't come easy. This came with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody sees the winning when you winning, when it looks like it's all good because everybody paints a beautiful picture. But the problem is that that's why they continue to use filters, because they're filtering their life. I'm not filtering this life. I've been getting to the bag all my life. I've been putting this work all my life. So when you see the win, just know that there was a lot on my back. Heavy the head that wears the crown. You know what I mean?
I couldn't.
And it's not easy. And I tell even her, she's teaching me about a lot of different things and this kind of business and so forth. And I'm really teaching her things about business, like real business, like on some next level, like how to think and
how to get
why
this to
people
millions.
move certain ways, you know. And we work good as a team. We have our moments. Like, nothing's perfect. And saying everything's all sweet. Like, you know what I'm saying? We keeping it real, right?
Of course.
It ain't all sweet all the time.
Ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
But I'll tell you what, she has made a lot of things easier for me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you have the trust.
Yeah, like we build together and you know, we get it. We get it. We're getting it together. You know what I mean? And it's a dope situation. And you know, we're making decisions with each other. You know, there's some decisions that I don't like. There's some decisions she don't like. But we're learning how to eat some of those up sometimes. You know, and work on it. Or sometimes, you know. But you know what? I think it's also a learning process for both of us.
Yeah.
Of course.
And there's so many elements to this. There's a baby, there's business, there's stability, there's relationship. You know what I'm saying? There's all these little different things that could stand in your way. But again, it takes work. Nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing's easy.
Let me ask you a question. You're asking all the questions. Is your work with your wife, is it work? Still work?
Every day.
It's work.
Every day.
No matter who's in a relationship, it's going to be work. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, is this job worth it?
Right.
Is this job worth it? And the job's worth it to me, man.
Of course.
Because when you see progress,
Right.
this is progress. This was a thought. This was a dream of hers that allowed me to enter the dream.
Yep.
You know? I had believed in her. You know, so you have to believe in yourself. These are all things that it takes to make this happen. Believing in yourself, having the right team behind you, having the right lawyers with you, having the right people who are going to play certain positions with you, having the right kind of team that you can kind of trust and depend on. There's people that we hired and that we depended on while we were opening up this business that are no longer with us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Already off the gate.
I mean,
off the gate. Like, it was like, word, nope, next, nope, next, nope, not you, you know? But that's okay, because I already knew, and I think that because I've owned a franchise of several different franchises and so forth, I believe that I'm so seasoned at this point
you get it.
that you already know, you know?
Totally.
So anybody thinking about this or making any kind of large move in life, period, there's a lot of work, man. It ain't you just putting up the bread because I put up bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or
paying
like
for the
people
money.
who
You know what
love
I'm saying?
smoking weed, right?
Yeah,
They'd be like, oh, how do I make money out of smoking weed?
You get high one day and you're just like, oh shit, I could do this.
I could do this, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, but you're still trying to rub two nickels together to find out how you're gonna get your next dime bag or some shit. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So
Totally agree.
but whatever, you know, I mean, you know, we're here now. The journey has been great in many different ways, and it has been rough in some ways, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And but like I said, now I'm just more about like, now that we're open, I mean, we're talking about grand opening, and look at just, the work didn't stop after I finished building. After I built this thing, I got to sit back and actually watch the vision live at grand opening.
Yeah, I've seen your guys' videos, and just like watching you guys stand on stage with all your family and friends around you, you can see, you know what I mean? Like that smile you guys have on your face, you can see how much work went into it and how the vision became a reality. And I think, you know, one of the most amazing parts, we're on our 17th episode, okay? Starting this podcast was very similar to starting Junk Luggers in my mind. Bunch of fucking haters. Bunch of people telling me it was not possible. A bunch of people who wanted to jump on, get equity, wanted to be my partner, right? And then it's time to put in the work, those people are gone, right? And then we open up Remix, same thing happens. Everyone was like, this is genius. How do I get involved? Okay, now it's time to put in the work. You could hear a pin drop. Now it's time to start the podcast. Again, bunch of haters. No one's gonna watch an hour and a half podcast on entrepreneurship when there's Tim Ferriss, Joe Rogan, you know, there's so many podcasts out there. Why would you wanna get into an industry that's saturated? You know what? 17 episodes in, every single day, all those haters are hitting me up, saying to me, it's amazing, I love it. I get excited every single Wednesday when it drops. And you know, what I see from you guys and what I feel deep down is that hatred, is that fire, right? That's what really gets you going when it's 4 o'clock in the morning and your alarm gets off. Or in your situation, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're feeding your son. You're feeding your son and you realize, shit, like, you know, I should text Zach back. And I think, but it's true. Like I saw it at 2:12 and then I told my wife, you know, when my daughter woke up at 6, I told my wife like, oh shit, she's got a baby. Like I forgot, you know what I mean? Like, cause it happened so fast. And I think now we're interviewing people that like, you guys are successful, right? Like we interviewed someone last week, $500 million company.
Wow.
We're interviewing someone in a couple of months, billionaire.
Wow.
Same thing, every single person we talk to. It ain't sunshine and rainbows. There's a lot of work that goes into it. You guys are paying attention to the detail, you're consistent. And this is the next topic I really want to hear you guys dig into. Mental toughness. Mental toughness. People don't understand how tough you have to be mentally. And you know, you both talked about tough upbringing, tough moms, tough dads, right? And I think, when I think about my life, it's like, doesn't matter how hard you knock me down, I'm gonna get the fuck up. Every single time. I tear my Achilles, I limp around Long Island City, you know, because to me it's like, unless you kill me, I guarantee I'm gonna get up every single time, right? So do you mind just talking everyone through like what it means to you when I say mental toughness?
First off, I'm looking at her like that, right? Because deep down, she's a baby.
I'm such a baby.
You might be, but I know you're tough.
I'm a tough cookie. But throughout this journey, I have to say this was probably the hardest journey in my whole life. I don't think it was just because the business aspect. I think it was my pregnancy.
Of course.
My hormones, my still till this day, my feelings. I'm not gonna lie, I had like a couple of breakdowns, but Rico is very strong, and Rico has been extremely supportive, and he's always like, this is what it takes to be here, all right? Suck it up, stop it. And I'm just like, oh. So this is probably like the hardest, I have to say the hardest thing I've experienced, you know, like.
And what do you think now that you're here, right? And you're smiling, you're laughing about it. Like, what does that mean to you? Now think about mental toughness. Like, you know, most entrepreneurs like yourself probably would have given up, right? And you didn't give up. So
There
like,
was times where I was like, I want to get.
and you know what?
I'm not going to lie. I swear.
I bet Rico. I bet Rico.
He was very.
I bet he did
tough
exactly
cookie.
what I do with my wife. Like, listen, you got to be tough. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna laugh on the other side. But you
He
know what?
did.
When he got in his car away from you, I bet he had doubts also.
I'm sure
and I
he
bet,
did, honestly. I'm sure he had his moments too, you know, and he's been really the rock and really holding it down.
Yep. And there's
He
been a lot of
has.
times where, you know, part of being a leader is being confident, right?
Yeah.
And like, there's been so many times. I mean, Roger's seen me where I'm like, I just want to, like, I can't do this every day. I can't put a smile on my face, you know? I cry, and then all of a sudden I wipe that tears off and I get up and I lead, right? And I think this is what like, if there's anything that we're going to learn from this, that we can teach thousands of people that are going to watch this, is like, that is what a real journey is. It's not about the end destination. It's about the journey up.
Of course.
You ready to switch over? Rico, why don't you tell us about mental
Tell
toughness?
us.
Yeah, tell us. Shaking, tell us. Nah. Man, I've been tough all my fucking life, man. You know, you gotta be tough going to jail. You gotta be tough, you know, willing to risk your life, doing certain things in life. You gotta be tough. Shit, man, you gotta be tough, period, man. This shit is no joke, you know. Like I said, when you're going through changes and you're going through different disbeliefs or not sures, all this, man, you miss every fucking shot you don't take. So what am I doing? Like, I'm either gonna be a ball player or I'm gonna be a bench warmer. Yep. And some people are lucky to be bench warmers though, because they're actually on the team and they're getting some kind of benefit. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
But not the fucking people in the rafters, not the people paying to watch the game. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I don't want to be the guy watching the game. I want to be guy playing the game and winning. That's what I want to be. And whatever it takes to make that happen. And people say, "Oh, well, man, oh, you just or you think about money, or you just think about this, or you think about that." No. I'm thinking about what it's going to take in order for all those things that my mind created, from a beautiful home to the beautiful rides to the jewelry that people want, or this and that, or whatever the hell you want, or the things you're trying to accomplish, the places you want to travel to, you know what I'm saying? Or shit, the person that you want to be, you know? I didn't have a regular job. I've never had, and if I did, I was doing something then. I was probably getting other money in a different way, fashion.
Yeah.
It was all about a grind, like, you know. I mean, I was, like I said, I was selling CDs, DVDs, and clothes out the trunk of my car.
Whatever it takes.
I was running up on people. I don't care who you were. You could have been the top notch of whoever to the little guy in the hood, you know. Whatever it takes. So for me, it wasn't so much about the toughness. It was so much of what I really want. And then what I really want becomes what you need in order to say, you know what, Jace, you could have that right now. You know what, Pop, you want to go where? Let's go right now, Pop. We out of here. Mommy wants to do what? Let's go. We're going tomorrow. Yay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
totally.
This is what life is supposed to be. Not, I'm going to see if we can plan it, honey.
We'll do it again.
Again in the future.
Right.
We'll try that. My kid is not even eating McDonald's. I don't care how many friends eat McDonald's. I'm gonna say, but many of your friends can't do what we're doing today. And what's that? Going to Disney World while they're in school.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or doing X, Y, Z. They can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to just give that life, because watching my father struggle, watching my mom struggle, watching them hustle, watching them, my father being a super for over 120 tenants.
Wow. Busting
his hump, had me out there bringing out the garbage with him. Meanwhile, I didn't even know my father's full-blown AIDS at the time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Going through all the, just, if you don't take the problems that you've been through or the issues that have anything that's happened to you in life, anything, and I don't care what it is, and people could say, well, you don't know what I went through. I don't need to, because I went through my own shit.
I was just about to say that.
I don't need to know what you're doing, but I could tell you right now that even through my shit, I'm a fucking survivor. I don't know. 24 screws, 2 rods and 2 plates on my leg, shot in my head, fracture, you know what I'm saying, pelvis. I had to train myself how to walk again. How to train myself how to fucking move around, be stability. How to walk, how to continue stay with a walk with a limp for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? No college degree, no high school diploma. You know, when people say, oh, you're not gonna make it, when the CEO said you'll be back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, shit, like, what else? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know, not being able to be with your family, being sent away, going to Spofford. If anybody knows Spofford, that was like jail for juveniles. You know what I'm saying? Did that. I mean, shit. What else? Like, you know?
Yeah,
like,
but now you wear those stripes on your belt.
and I still look young. I'm 40 years old. Look at me now. Papa, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get it.
I'm still working. Never
Still
drinking.
here, you're still breathing.
Here, still breathing, still pushing, and still wanting more.
That's the key right there.
We might be done with this. We might be done. And what's next? What's next?
I totally get it.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things that some people don't like is continued change and like, oh, you want to do this, and but now you want to do that, and then you want to start this venture, and then you want to start venture. But the thing is, what I do with my ventures is I mastered them first.
Yep. Model the masters.
I did my real estate thing. I mastered that shit. Still doing that, and I'm still doing it because I mastered it, right?
Still.
This was even crazy. I had a studio downstairs and my office upstairs, my real estate office. Everybody came to my studio. Fat Joe, friends, to you name, I mean, a bunch of different artists been to my studio, okay? That's how I blew up with a lot of the entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Pistol Pete from TS. He put me on to a lot of other people too, you know? And grown with all these different, now, I never needed them. But they used my studio, they came this and that. So who was doing real estate and music at the time? All those relationships, from flying out to Miami to going everywhere I was going before, doing everything I'm doing, guess what? All those relationships popping up. My grand opening was a movie because I have relationships. My other, like, this is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Fat Joe, Remy Ma.
Yeah, but Remy pops up on me in the middle of the night, says, open up the doors for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming through with a bunch of people, you know, Papoose, and shout out to Steve Lobel, who came on to check in.
Oh, we working.
Yeah, we working. He came to pop out and see us. Shout out to Nems. He came out. Bing Bong. You know, he was out here. Shout out to Keenan Thompson, who was here already.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to a Commodore who was here, and a bunch of other influencers here. We even had Host Lethal, the puppet, up here. We had, the amount of people that's coming through, Royal Flush, old school rappers that I had here. Mike Geronimo was here. And this is all in roughly 30-day time. And I was only out of those 30 days, we were only open for 24 of those days.
Wow.
Okay, out of the month. We was only open for 24 days because we closed for a couple of days after grand opening because our fridge went down, our POS system went out during grand opening.
Oh my God.
During grand opening, POS
nightmare.
went down, everything. And again, everybody was in a frenzy in the kitchen. Everybody was there. Everything was kind of crazy. But the people outside, they really didn't know what the fuck is going on, right? We know what the fuck is going on. So, but me and her, we want things to be so perfect and so everything, right? So, even during grand opening, guys, we had a rough time.
It was literally like
Talk
a
about being
restaurant
tough.
nightmare. We had literally everything
yeah.
that you can expect to go wrong in a restaurant went wrong.
Went wrong. And I was like, holy, how? I fucking swear I built this shit perfect. What the fuck? But it wasn't just building the foundation, you know, the foundation.
It's the little pieces.
It's the structure that we gotta continue to build on after.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't agree more.
And going through that, that's fucking shit being tough. I told everybody, they were like, you know, shout out to my mom too. She's in the kitchen with us, doing her thing too.
Wow.
You know, she
Love
worked.
that.
She worked at a Change of Life. She worked at Rikers Island, and also in other places, being as a counselor and so forth. And you know, now she's with us in the kitchen, which is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Mom changed her life. She's with me now too.
It's
You know what I
family
mean?
business.
Yeah, and she comes. She was like, "Oh my god!" But my mom don't know. She's still fragile to this new business life, right?
Yep.
And Karol, although she's in the restaurant industry and although she's everything, and she's again, I think she still knew it as a business owner.
Of course.
So I'm sitting out here and I'm just like, guys, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
We'll make it through.
We're gonna be all right. We're like, it's okay. We fucking got through it. We're gonna fix it. But I was like, oh my god, but what is it? You know, but all in all, for me, it was a success. It was still a success. We opened up the first cannabis cafe lounge, official, in New York City. And, you know, we opened. We had plenty of different people come through, and everybody that's coming through is showing love. On grand opening, there was 4 people out of, I don't know, we had like 200 to 300 people that came through to come check grand opening that day, and 4 didn't get food. I'm sorry, my bad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we just opened, you know what we're supposed to do. But you know what? Those people said, I don't give a shit, we good, we coming back. You know what I'm saying? This shit was dope, you know? Like, to me, that's a success. That's success.
100%.
You know?
I think a lot of our customers are happy, right? But the ones that aren't, to me, that is the biggest learning lesson. Like, how can we get those to be the most loyal customers? Sometimes we give them future credit. Sometimes we'll go, you know, if we fuck up, we'll go back and do a job for free.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
They are the most loyal customers I have to this day.
1,000%. 1,000%. And, you know, but that's what it takes, man. Being tough, man. You gotta be tough doing this, and you know. And listen, I can't even lie, man. We did great our first month.
It's awesome.
Most businesses does not make not the type of money we made the first month.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this I know. I speak to the rest of them. You did what? Oh wow. Like okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You know what? With everything I had going on, cool. We still made enough to take care of all the bills. And take care of the people in the in-house.
Yep.
And make sure, you know what I'm saying? To me, that was important.
That's winning.
That's winning. That means that shit, what's going to happen in the next couple of months? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think...
to it, baby. We open.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would look at this as lucky, right? But there's nothing about this that's
work,
luck.
man. This is work, man. This is work. This is work. And I'll emphasize it on it as much as possible. Talk about fucking haters. They shut down my fucking Instagram, these fuckers. You know what I'm saying? They shut down my Instagram, not even the Kakes page. They shut down my personal
Oh,
page.
that must have been a dagger.
Now listen, I don't have mad followers like, 10,000s
Right.
and up and up and up.
Right.
I have a little close to 7,000 followers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I make money, and they're all real followers. These are no fake followers. These are not people that, that are added. These are like my real followers.
These are
I
your
don't
people.
play with no fake followers. I don't do none of that extra shit. All the people that are on there are watching for a reason, and I don't know a lot of those people. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But
they want to watch the journey.
They're watching the journey, and that's dope, and I'm gonna and obviously my page is continuing growing, but I make money from my page. People get into real estate investments with me. People get into different kind of deals that I got going on and so forth, and or new relationships that I meet online that are pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I needed my page. So shout out to Fortune been booming. He looked out for me. And got my page back, and
nice.
Now I'm supposedly cool with Instagram. He's flying in soon. I'm gonna get my check now. So
there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So for your haters, I want to just let you know if you want to. I appreciate you because
You
now
know
I'm
your
gonna
haters are watching.
now I'm gonna get my blue check. Thank you. I want to appreciate you for that. So they shut my shit down, and I'm like, and we have the paperwork that on the situation, so I know
who did it.
Well. No, I'm not gonna say we know who did it, but
you know why.
I know why. So
You know not to make that.
So now, you know what I'm saying?
Because the haters want you to slip, right?
They want you to slip. They want you to fall, but we got the paperwork. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't worried. I'm not personally worried about none of that because, honestly, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about our success here. I'm worried about within my relationship. I'm worried about my kid. I'm worried about, you know what I'm saying, how the business is going to flourish, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. I'm not worried about all that extra stuff. So that's why I actually posted something and I said, oh, listen, I got love for you. No, don't be mad at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? I'm working. I put a lot of work behind this. There was a lot. Look, like, get mad at me because I worked? I don't get it. Because nothing was handed out. Nothing was given. Nothing was received. No, there was none of that. This was straight, get to the bag, do what you gotta do, make it happen, and put in work, not just spend money. You know what I'm saying? And with that hater situation, people like to see you win, but they don't like to see you do better than them.
Of course.
But I take it as acknowledgement, and I take it as a compliment. Thank you, a compliment.
Yep.
I appreciate you because, you know what? That day, I might have not been feeling too good. And you brightened me up because you said, damn, kid, you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. And I'm like, damn, man, I am doing my fucking thing. So I appreciate you for, you know what I'm saying, hating on me. I'm not, you know, they took down my page, not in my Kakes page.
Right.
Our page has been up not very long at all. We've reached over 530 followers today. You know what I'm saying? 5,000. 5,000. Sorry, 5,000.
Crushing it.
And it's moving fast.
And we're giving out a free goodie bag.
And we're giving out a couple of free goodie bags. We're
that's
gonna give
awesome.
out 4 of them.
That's awesome.
We said we're gonna give out 2, but now they're gonna see the video. They're gonna know we're gonna give out 4 of them. 4 goodie bags to people. You know what I'm saying? Coming through. But yeah, man, like there's nothing to hate, man. Just try to find a way to participate in a way of yourself, of doing something that is gonna better yourself. And listen, man, there's enough room for space for everybody. People say, well, how come you didn't open up a dispensary? Well, I didn't want to open up a dispensary.
Everyone does that.
Everybody wants to open up a dispensary. Why do I want to open up a dispensary? I don't want to do that. Everybody's going for the, I mean, right now, there's a ton of them open.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All over New York. We're not even fully blown yet, licensed with the license yet. And there's tons of them, right? I looked at it and I said, well, right now the state's saying yes. The feds are saying no.
Right.
The feds say yes. How do I compete with Jeff Bezos? How do I compete with Walmart? How do I compete with all these big competitors been in the game that can have a package to your door probably in minutes at that point now when the weed game opens? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to compete. So
Genius.
What I want to do is I said, me and Karol, we said to each other, well, what about during Prohibition stage? What happened?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Prohibition stage, you wasn't able to have a liquor store or a bar.
Yep.
Right? So people would have speakeasies and they would go into these places and they would drink and they would hang out and so forth, right?
Yep.
Under the gun. Well, that's the same shit they're doing right now. In different states and wherever the place they are, you know what I'm saying? This is what they're doing now. And they've been doing it for years.
Cool. Yeah.
I want to be part of that. I want to go out and I smoke.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. So I said to myself, well, why don't we have something like a speakeasy? Like we're gonna do it and just kind of went from kind of speakeasy-ish to just going full blown and saying fuck it, right?
Yeah.
We're outside. So I said, well, if they were doing it then, what can I do differently? Because a dispensary is nothing than a bar right now. And there's gonna be, not a bar, excuse me. Liquor store. Thousands of them.
There's gonna be a lot.
There's gonna be a lot. And then I say to myself, well, I've been to Cali, I've been to Canada, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been around the world. I've seen all these different cannabis type lounges, this and that. Nothing by far is like this. Nothing.
Totally.
I haven't seen nothing like this.
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam. That was the first thing I thought of when I came here is like, you guys created an actual lounge.
Right.
Like, that's the best part about going to Amsterdam is you get to meet people from all around the world. You have one common interest, cannabis, but sitting down, smoking together, hearing their journey, how they got to Amsterdam, is by far the coolest part about it.
Yeah, 1,000%. So being there and seeing that, nothing's like this, and also saying to myself, what can I do different from the dispensaries? Well, I'm gonna be a bar, because you can go to a dispensary and smoke your weed, and outside, go home or whatever. But what about the people who says, yo, I want to get to a spot that I could just be comfortable, I could blow it down and enjoy myself and so forth. I want it to be that, because nobody's really talking about that. Nobody's trying to really do that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And this concept, when the feds say yes, they're still gonna come here. This is a place to go to. You can go to any place right now that has dispensaries. There's people around the world that have a lot of licenses. But even though they have a license, they're still unsuccessful. Why? Because everybody's trying to be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the same thing, neither did Karol. And we said we want to be different. So we're going to be different. So we opened up a spot that now people are going to start, are coming to, and to hang out, to smoke, to have infused foods, you know what I'm saying? We have infused and non-infused, you know? And we don't have no liquor. We're keeping it. We don't even want liquor, even if maybe along the way, if the state and so forth says there's something to go, I don't think they will. But but honestly, I don't mind. I'm okay with that, because I'd rather not have that demon. I love the fact that people could come here, they could bump into you and they go, oh man, don't worry, you got a Dutch?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or you got a backwood, you got a lighter? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, there's
great energy.
Yeah, it's like,
great energy.
I always tell people, who don't smoke, right? Part of the most amazing part of cannabis weed is it makes you vulnerable. It makes you self-aware versus alcohol, where all of a sudden now you're a tough guy. Now all of a sudden you're like, your confidence level is at 100. Someone smokes, all of a sudden they're like, they're vulnerable. They want to hear about you. They want to hear about your experience. And that's one of my favorite parts of smoking and weed in general, is the fact that it just makes you more like level-headed.
Yeah. Nah, it makes you is a way different fit. And even the crowd that's been coming, and we were super packed.
Yep.
And
no fights,
nothing. Everybody's vibing.
No one's breaking.
Nothing.
Yeah, I totally get it.
All chill shit. The music was great.
Totally.
I mean, shout out to DJ Enough from Hot 97.
Oh shit.
He loved it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, this shit is amazing. We're gonna start doing label meetings here now and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to J5 and Scenario. They were here from 105.1. We're gonna be shooting. Shooting videos and stuff here for comedy night and so forth. They're gonna start bringing to the table here.
Love it.
So we'll have that going on. I mean, this is a place for that. It's a place for you to enjoy. We're having all types of different events, from movie nights. I got 150 inch screen here that pops down for game nights, fight nights, movie nights. What else? We're doing drag nights. I mean, listen, marijuana, CBD, and all that has no discrepancy on nobody. And we want it to be where it fits everybody. Band nights, your jazz nights.
Accept everyone. I love it.
Yeah, something for everybody to enjoy and get used to. And you got to get used to us. We're here, man. You got to get used to us. We're gonna be here. So and then the food was so great about it. What I also like the most is that it's not a spot that you go to and the meal is, or anything that you eat and you're flying right away.
Gives you a little buzz.
Yeah, we want to keep you where it's good for anybody who is a beginner that says, I just want to try.
Oh yeah.
To somebody that says, yo, I want to get smacked.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't tell you how many times growing up in high school, you eat an edible, you have no clue, and then all of a sudden, 7 hours later, you're
still buzzed out. So here, the way we do it is because it's an experience here.
Right.
It's not so much about the food. It's about the cakes and the pastries and the experience. You know what I'm saying?
Genius. It really is.
So the food, yes, we have infusions, the cakes and all that, the goodies, they're infused. But when the meal comes out to you, like a drink, the drink is only 3 milligrams.
That's perfect.
Okay, why?
Microdose.
Because we're gonna microdose. Those people come in that says, you know what, I want to try this, something new. Now, also, if I have a drink and I'm here, and maybe I want to just to get a little subtle before I have a meeting or go somewhere or something like that, because I have a lot of people that's coming in working on their laptops and you know, smoking and waking bacon and stuff like that. They called me like somewhat like a weed work. I said no, we're like a weed work. You know what I'm saying?
I love
like
that.
a weed puff. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So they're working on their laptops and they want a little something. And then the next thing you know, we have the people that come in and says, yo, what is it going to take for me to get really right? Well, take this entire meal.
Yep.
And enjoy the meal, enjoy yourself, and then you'll get real nice.
I love that.
You want. So now you don't have to go. But now we have some items that you could grab and they're and they can get you where you want to be kind of quickly if you would like, things like that. But our main thing, that's not our real thing. It's more about an experience and for you to say, you know what, man, this was really great, and I can't wait to come back. I
love that.
So that's what it's really about here.
You guys are gonna kill it. There's no doubt in my mind. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I mean, what do you think about the working hard and part? Because you said you own over 100 franchises.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. I know, because I know franchising.
Yeah, you know franchising.
I know what it took to get there, and I know what it takes to make it happen. And even through my franchise journey, right? Mm-hmm. When I did this franchising thing, I opened up over 120 locations. Me, Anthony, Lolly, shout out to him, and Carlos, and we went through some craziness going through this, and a lot of people who we opened up doors to, haters. Again, try to shit on us. We was gonna really go to a whole other level.
Yeah.
And knowing that people are like that, and try to put you in positions. I'm curious to know what it's like going on with this now.
Well, I think, listen, some people are entrepreneurs, and then there's other people that are intrapreneurs, right? They want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't have the vision, or they want the foundation to be successful. And I think that's one of the best parts of the franchise system, right? Is where you could have someone leading from behind. And then one of the best parts of a franchise is like you can learn from other people's mistakes before you make the mistake yourself. And that to me has been so powerful along the journey. My brother and I started this 15 years ago. We perfected the model. Then we started franchising out the concept. Now we have a whole team dedicated to each of the franchises to make sure they're successful. And I think one of the most amazing parts of this journey is what we were talking about before the camera went on, is like all of a sudden someone makes it. They have $1 million franchise and they thank me. And, I think ultimately, like, not everyone's going to succeed, because if they
not everyone's going to make it, baby.
Not everyone's going to make it, because at the end of the day, like, I can only hold people's hands just so much. But the best part of the franchise system is we're going to lay the foundation. We're going to give you the formula for success. And then you could take that and you can run with it and you could pivot with it, or you don't. And you don't succeed. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I know that our junk luggers model could make you successful. And, we're going to make millionaires. I think ultimately that's the coolest feeling, because I know that I'm successful because I put in the work. I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning and I worked until my eyes bled. And, shout out to my wife for believing in me. I didn't make, like, when we met 10 years ago, I was nothing, and I think one thing that I keep saying over and over again, and hopefully she's going to watch all these podcasts one day, is like, behind every successful entrepreneur is an amazing, strong woman giving that entrepreneur the confidence to keep going. And I know Carol's standing behind you, and I know you're standing behind Carol.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And that part to me is like, how much better is this journey when you got someone that you trust and love standing behind you, cheering you on? If I was by myself and I didn't have my wife and my baby, it wouldn't be as, the success is so much more powerful when you have a team behind you cheering you on and you know, laughing with you when you succeed and crying with you when you fuck up. So, you know, hard work, it works. You know, putting in the work is gonna pay off. And, you know, for anyone that's just starting off right now with just a dream, just keep going, keep grinding. You know, shout out to Roger.
Shout out to Roger.
Shout out to Roger behind the cam.
Roger's busting his ass, and then on top of that, he's going to coding school at night so he can learn how to program. And then on top of that, he's working out. And then on top of that, he's got this amazing family in South Carolina and Mexico. And, you know, people like that is who I want to surround myself with, because he inspires me. I know I inspire him. Of course I inspire him. But, like, at the end of the day, you know, bringing fresh blood into the system.
It's good, man, and watching them work and watching them actually like hungry and that energy that they have. People think that having one job.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna have this job. I'm gonna live this life.
I'm gonna sit at my desk 9 to 5. I'm gonna make good money.
And some people, but you know what? I can't take that away from anybody, because that's what satisfies them. They're okay with that.
Yep.
Me or you or someone like us, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with, I'm gonna work this job and this pays my bills. This is a little extra here.
Yep.
That I could maybe do this summer.
Yep.
Or go here this day or go. That's not me, man. I don't think that's ever gonna be me. It'll never be me. And I don't even know how to be. I feel that me living that life is almost like, yo, I guess I'm gonna be in a shelter. Because I don't wanna be the guy making 50 to, I don't like a cap. Don't cap me. Don't cap me. I need to be released. Like I'm a dragon in this world. You know what I'm saying? I need to let my flame out. You know, I need to I need to get to it. You know, and if you don't have that, in the book Outliers, it says you need to have over 10,000 hours of that one thing. Don't count you going to work and using the time you went to the bathroom.
Doesn't
The
count.
count that you was on the phone talking to somebody else, the time that you was doing anything else, times you was fidgeting or doing whatever, that does not count just because you was at the clock at that particular job or that thing. You know what I'm saying? You have not mastered that, you know? In order to be a master, you need to put 10,000 hours into that one specific thing. And some people think that their time is. They make themselves believe it. But their time is not that. Not until you know. There's a thing for me. I know and believe. I know I'm gonna make it happen and believe that it's done. And I live my life ever like that. When I opened up my real estate company, I opened up doors. I gutted out everything. And me, I'm always to the extreme. People say, "Oh, you're always to the extreme. You always gotta go so hard. You always gotta go so much." I don't know no other way. And then I look at other people who talk about that. I look at the car they drive. I look at the house they live in. I look at the clothes they wear. I look at the life. Listen, you don't have to have the most expensive car. You don't have to, because there's a lot of rich guys I know that they're cool with having these little things and all that. But guess what? When I call them and talk to them, I'm in Italy. What are you doing? I'm in Greece. I'm doing this. I'm doing. Oh, you gotta come see me. When you gonna take this trip with me? When are you gonna have time?
Couldn't agree more.
Where are you now? Oh, I'm on the ship. It goes away for 3 months. I'll be back.
Amazing.
So, and these guys, they may not have but the life they live. This is what I'm trying to talk about.
Experiences.
The experiences, man. I can't tell you all the experiences that I got, because I got to travel the world and do things and see things, and it motivated me. Living, believe it or not, living at the Avalon, no, I had the biggest balcony. Right here, the fireworks, I was just standing outside looking at it, and I was laughing to myself, and I was like,
I used to see it, yeah.
I used to stand right there, like at the fireworks, right in my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I used to look across and look at Wall Street, look at all these buildings, look at everything in the city, and just say to myself, I want to be successful today, because I had sealing the floor, a glass going around the whole apartment. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, this is me now. You know, driving the kind of cars I wanted to drive. You know, all types of different cars. You know, I've had, or the type of watches that I like to wear, but people don't talk about the sacrifices.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that.
Fucking sacrifices, man. I sacrificed pretty much 7 months of my life, 8 months of my life here and here. How is the paint enough? Do I have to put one more coat? You know, is this line ran correctly? Is this gonna leak inside? No. Am I gonna have the air filter? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at every piece of this puzzle. Do we have enough food for the people for grand? Do we have this, that? Babe, we have cakes? We need more. Like, they're selling. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. I get phone calls every single day. Some would say, I have a good idea, I want to start, but I got this 9 to 5, how do I do it? And the first question I always ask them is, you work Saturdays? I work 10 years every Saturday. You work Sundays? 10 years every Sundays. You got plenty of time. You could do that, your 9 to 5, and then work after.
I love this. But I can't work on that day because
I gotta go party.
I gotta do this, or I need time for me.
I need my time.
No, I need my time.
Right.
Me time. I need my time. Get the fuck out of here. You don't want to be successful. You don't want to be successful. You don't want nothing in life, and you're gonna be an average Joe.
Yep.
If that's like, and listen again, if that satisfies you and that's your life and that makes you happy, and that's kudos to you, because everybody has a level of success to them. And so I respect that. I don't knock anybody who's a 9 to 5er, because you're putting in the work, because there needs to be somebody doing sanitation. There needs to be somebody, you know what I'm saying, being bus boys, and there needs to be somebody doing all these things. But it's okay to do those things, but what are you gonna do to get out of that to go and move it to the next level?
What Karol was talking about with robots, right? We need robots, but we also need wolves. We don't need just sheeps. And you know, now I got a big, beautiful house in Connecticut. I got an apartment in Long Island City. But you know what the best time of my life was? That 5th floor walk up in the East Village. 1 year sleeping on a pull-out couch. I used to put a piece of plywood underneath it. Then shout out to my buddy Ian, built me a bunk bed. And I still, to this day, you know, that's what motivates me, is thinking about that time that I was sitting there, similar to what you were talking about, where I was like, I'm gonna fucking make it.
You just made me think about something crazy. You know, a lot of people that don't want to put in the work came from the money.
Yep.
They came from the good. I come from plucking roaches out the cereal box. You know what I'm saying? I come from remembering when they threw my parents' shit on the street, because back then, you can't do this now, but back then,
You just evict them,
you can evict them, throw the people's shit out in the middle of the street. That's it. You didn't pay your rent, boom, boom. You know, it's a wrap. You know, I know what it's like to sleep in parks. You know, I know what it's like to just come from the gutter, man. Like, not have it easy. You know, I remember looking for my parents in the middle of the street one night, and had the blackness on the bottom of me and my sister's feet, because I had no shoes on when I was looking for them in the middle of the night at one point in time. You know, we went through some crazy times, you know. And, but again, man, shout out to a praying mother that could change.
Yep.
And, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you know, God giving me a shot at life to be where I'm at. Shout out to life also brings you new encounters in your life, that when you're like, damn, man, because at one point in time, after my last relationship, I ain't got no kids. I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
I'm done with that.
I'm good. This is it, you know, for me. And God works in mysterious ways, and he brings people into your life and challenges you.
And now your son's the best thing you said that's ever happened.
Oh my God.
I love that.
I can't even.
I love
my
that.
mornings with him. She leaves in the morning, early in the morning to bake and do all the stuff. They leave real early, and I get to hang with him. You know, so
I do the same thing.
I have my moments with him. I'm chilling with him, and now that he's 3 months, he's actually like really reacting like, and I'm like, oh shit,
Smiling.
like I can have some fun with this kid now, like, you know what I'm saying, like
Just wait.
yeah, like I had to wait 3 months, but you know what I'm saying, but now he's ticking, and now every day there's something gradually, you know. I have this thing now, I call him, so what's up, best friend, and he starts laughing, he's like yeah, you know, he knows what I'm saying, you know. And he reacts, you know. And then just the other day, it really killed me. I didn't even want to leave the house. She's on the couch with him, and I'm like, oh, I love you. And he like literally said, I love you. Like she was there, and he did it twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like he did that, and I said, what? I said, you love your daddy? He goes, we both was like, like, you know, those shit, like, you know, snap.
Thousands of videos and pictures on our phones.
Oh man, yeah, that's, you know, I wish I had it on cam, but it wasn't even on cam. But the memories, and to know that I'm about to have a little partner, you know what I'm saying, to chop it up with and talk some real shit with and communicate differently than the kind of communication I had growing up, you know.
Of course.
And it's dope, you know, it's a dope thing. And you know, this thing with Karol is it's amazing, and it has its time. It has its time, you know, at times. But you know what, man, like, yo, we good, man. We, you know, we have one thing that I can say about Karol, that if there is a dispute, if there is some kind of uneasiness that I that may not like on both ends, it doesn't carry. It's not something that needs to be carried on. Like, you know how you get into some beef with your girl, whatever.
Totally.
It's like now he's like, that shit is just draining, and it's, oh my God, are you serious? Like, I don't get like that. And if it was to get a point like that, there's an understanding. You know what I'm saying? At some time, but I feel that there's more of a, all right, cool. It'll be like, all right, what are you gonna eat? Or I made you dinner, or he was this, that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I didn't tell her this, but I'm
she's nervous.
She helped me realize that we was having a little dispute about something, and she was like, well, I don't know what you think it is. I don't know what the fuck you think, but me or you are not the boss anymore.
Ooh.
He's the boss.
Mm.
And I was like, if you didn't notice, I was like, yeah. But deep down inside, I was like, damn, the boss.
Yeah.
He's the boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? My little man's
course.
the boss. You know, like, because right now it really revolves around him, you know, and there'll be some fast movements I want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we gotta. He's the boss.
Yep.
That's how you're right. You know, so it is what it is, man. But again, it's trial and error, and I love that. I love where we're headed. I love where we're going.
Future's bright.
And the journey is definitely bright, and I'm glad that it's with her. You know.
Love that.
So it's dope. You know, appreciate you.
Karol, if you could have a billboard anywhere in New York City or anywhere in the world, but let's pick New York City.
Okay.
And courtesy of Lug Life, we'll put it up for you. What would it say and why?
I think it'll honestly say, don't ever give up. Because don't ever give up. That's why, you know what I mean? You never know what life has coming for you. That little give up moment that you have might have been your big stepper.
That's dope.
I love that.
So that's what I would say. Don't ever give up. Love Kakes.
Love Kakes.
Love Kakes. With a little logo on the bottom out here.
Consistency's key.
Yeah.
Consistency's key. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Now we're blessed and highly favored. We appreciate you coming out to Kakes.
Yeah.
And having a little sit down with us. I'm glad that we found the time to do it. I know you
got it done.
We're getting with us about it. You know, I'm glad that we did it.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to this. And for everybody that's watching now, just know we're here, man. We outside, and we're gonna keep going. And if you have anything in life you want to do, people say you got to work hard for it. People say, oh, do what it takes. People say all those things, but don't ask. Just fucking do it, man.
Love it.
Don't ask. Just do it.
That wraps up episode 17 of the Lug Life podcast. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Got it.
Kakes, 1040 44th Drive in Long Island City. Come check them out.
1043.
Did I say 10?
Yeah, 1043. Address. We're right next door. It don't matter if you go to his
come
shop
to
or our
Remix
shop,
and you'll
just go to
find us.
Remix and you'll find us right next door.
Go to Remix.
You know the vibe. We outside. Appreciate y'all.
And how can they find you guys?
You can go to Kakes.
.nyc.
Yeah, Kakes.nyc with a K. Kakes.
Got it. We got it.
.nyc, and they can also
Instagram
go to Instagram at Kakes NYC, and we're on TikTok and everywhere else, and social media team.
There we go.
We got everything going on. You know
There we
what I'm
go.
saying? So
Yeah.
you're gonna find us. You ain't gonna miss us. Everybody's talking about it.
That's amazing. Episode 17. We love you guys
God
so
bless.
much. Like, subscribe, comment. Watch us on YouTube, not only Spotify. This next fucking generation, they only watch on Spotify. We want you to watch us on YouTube. And
Nice.
we love you guys so much. We're so appreciative.
Click the like button right below.
Hit the like. Hit the like button. And shout out to Rico and Karol for, I know how busy they are,
No
making the
doubt.
time to sit down. And you guys are going to be so successful. I can't wait.
Appreciate it, man. God bless. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
so much.
The best.
Had my issues throughout life. So we have this quote that I repeat every single day.
Episode. My last question is, if you put a billboard anywhere in New York City, what would it say?